Welcome to another episode of Voices from Within. Today, we present my brother, your brother, our brother, Dyson X, as he recaps the year 2024 and his goals, aspirations, God willing, for this year 2025. Sit back, enjoy, like, subscribe, comment. Peace. Can't complain, man. Woke up on this side.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Our brother David in the scripture says, where there's life, there's hope.
Yes,
right?
indeed. Yes, indeed.
So that's beautiful in and of itself to be able to appreciate waking up on this side, because there's many people that started yesterday with us that's not here today, waking up on this side.
I was reminded what Brother Nuri said. He said, when we get up, first thing we should say is small prayers, not only Allahu Akbar. He said, when we go to sleep, that God takes everybody's soul. And so you dead. And then he gives it back to whom he seen fit. So when we wake up, we also be thankful and grateful that we was worthy enough to get that breath or that life breathed back into us.
Wow. Hey, listen, that's powerful that you brought up Student Minister Nuri, because I was just listening to a podcast he did on I Didn't Know TV.
Yes.
And brother, listen, the brothers talk about plantation psychosis. He talked about the mother plane. He talked about bad hygiene. Listen, bro, it's a powerful interview. So I pray that Allah blesses me to meet the brother in person. However, I thank Allah for allowing me to meet him where it counts most, which is in this message and in this truth, and in the practice of this message and truth, you know?
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, I was just listening to the brother. That's powerful. Very powerful. Yes, sir. So, what we dealing with, black man? What we dealing with?
Let's do a little small recap of 2024. We at the end now. Inshallah, we make it next few days. And what you have on the agenda, what's your goals for 2025?
Yes, sir.
Let's start with this before you get off in that. When you began to 2024 and now, what have you learned? What do you think is your most valuable lesson you learned through this year?
I think that it's the same lesson that I've been learning since '94. It's just greater and greater confirmation. And that lesson is that there's no God but Allah. And he came to us in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad to set us on an onward course that can't be reversed into growing into our true identity by blessing us with the knowledge of self in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad. And my life has been theocentric ever since, wherein theocentric, of course, meaning God-centered. And I've chosen a theonomous life, which is a life that's ruled by God. And in doing so, this year 2024 has been magnificent for me, brother, because I've been incarcerated since 1994. I'm in my 31st year of physical incarceration. And by being rooted in the knowledge of self, being rooted in a desire to grow in self-improvement, which is the basis of community development, and going through self-examination, self-analysis, and self-correction for 31 years, I've grown leaps and bounds from the male that I was before my incarceration into the man that I continue to evolve into, and God being man, that God mentality. And 2024, one of my greatest lessons that I've learned is when you continue to put your faith in Allah, you've qualified yourself for the luxury, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life that the God has promised us, and that peace of mind, which is that heaven on earth. You know, brother, I was sentenced to die in here in 1994, and I still am subject to that unjust sentence and conviction at this very moment. However, I'm better than I was in 1994. I'm stronger than I was in 1994. My hope and my faith is greater than it was in 1994. And 31 years after the fact, still optimistic, still believing in the beauty of life, like we said at the beginning of this conversation, and still believing that I can contribute to the betterment of not only our people, but the human family overall. I'm excited, brother, about what 2025 is about to bring in. And I'm going into 2025 with great expectation if Allah sees fit to allow me to see it. But my 2024 has been fantastic from this vantage point. Remaining steadfast in my submission to God's will. And the law of submission says you become like that which you submit to. So in the growth and the development that I've been subjected to and I've experienced over this 31-year course, now doors are opening where truth has been revealed where my case is concerned, and the probability of me going home in the very near future is at an all-time high. And this year, I was blessed in many different ways. And one of the ways that I was blessed was I was able to marry the woman that Allah has ordained for me. And remember, Prophet Muhammad said that marriage is one half of faith. Is that right?
That's right.
And the woman was given to us as a helpmeet, and according to the Bible, to help us meet the goals in which Allah has already predetermined for us to meet in this life. So she's been a foundation for me wherein bridges have been built and connections have been made that is preparing me for the work that I'll do when I get to society. And one of the things that she has blessed me with is a reconnection, or not a reconnection, actually a connection with my paternal grandfather, as well as other aunts and uncles on my father's side that I wasn't aware of and didn't even know. And this year, my grandfather is 98 years of age, and he'll be 99, and I'm just now getting to know him and spoke to him for the first time in May of this year, 2024. And my grandfather is Bishop Luke Edwards, and he has a beautiful congregation that is rooted in, truly, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's economic blueprint when it talks about land ownership and producing a nation of our own.
Yes.
And that's what he's been doing down there in Utah, Alabama. So my queen, Sister G.R.E.Y, what she did was she connected with them down there, and now I have a beautiful relationship with my grandfather down there, and we're putting together this Black Belt project wherein we're talking about reclaiming our heritage and the land that we once were enslaved on. Now, being the masters, the righteous rulers over that same land, and utilizing it to our benefit. And it's very powerful, brother. Very powerful. My 2024, going to court this year and having my evidentiary hearing, that was powerful for me because this is the closest I've ever been to having the opportunity of reclaiming my physical freedom. It's I'm just happy, brother. I'm very excited and I'm appreciative. And you would think that a man in my shoes, who's been sentenced to die in prison and been in here for 31 plus years, 31 years of counting, excuse me, not plus years, but 31 years of counting, you would think that I would have a bitter outlook on life and feel like life has dealt me some bad cards. But when you have the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we always take the good side of a thing. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And in taking the good side of a thing, instead of counting all of the obstacles in our path throughout the course of the day, we count all the blessings that Allah has blessed us with. And where other people see stumbling blocks and roadblocks, we see them as building blocks, right?
That's right.
So with that mindset and that attitude, it keeps you full of hope, full of faith, and it also inspires you to be a helper in the cause of freedom, justice, equality, and submission to God's will, Islam. So, my 2024 has been magnificent. I got a niece who went to Africa this summer, my niece Talia, and I was proud of her. She went over there and represented the family.
All praise due to
one
Allah.
from my immediate family that set foot on the motherland. You know what I mean? So I'm praying that I can follow her lead in that regard.
Exactly.
So this has just been a phenomenal year, brother. And think about this. We have a mathematical theology. And in our mathematical theology, we talk about the number 9 representing completion.
That's right.
Well, we're getting ready to go into 2025. 2 plus 2 plus 5 gives you 9. So
That's
I'm
right.
feeling like in my heart that I've completed this side of my journey with the physical incarceration. And our 5% family say that the number 9 represents born. And I
Yes.
believe that Allah is about to give birth to a new reality in my life on the other side of this prison experience. However, the work that I'm doing in here will be the same work that I'm going to do out there. Because prison is nothing more than the microcosm or the macrocosm of that society, correct?
Yep, correct.
So, wherever you at as an FOI, wherever you at as a servant of God, wherever you at as a messenger of God, you have a duty to perform wherever you find yourself at, that's rooted in doing God's will. So I'm just looking forward to 2025, and I'm walking into it with great expectation, brother. I'm very, very, very excited about what I believe Allah has in store for me and what He has in store for others, utilizing me as a vessel to bring blessings into others' lives as well. So, yeah, that my 2024 is so much more to share within a 15-minute conversation.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult. It's very difficult to touch on everything, but the Quran says that if we were to count Allah's blessings, we wouldn't be able to number them.
That's right.
So we could be having this conversation into infinity.
Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So one thing for certain, my posture remains a posture of gratitude and a posture of thanksgiving. Regardless of what comes my way, man, I know that God got me.
Yes.
All praise is due to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So speaking of which, do you have what's your plan for another book?
Well, I have a book that I'm writing called Curly Crown, right?
Yes.
And Curly Crown, it is not only a book of poetry, but it's going to be a book of short stories, and it's also going to have positive affirmations in it. And then I have another book that I'm putting together, The Boy That Was Born King. And that one is along the same line as Curly Crown. And the reason why I'm talking about The Boy That Was Born to Be King, the reason why I titled it that is, when you look at us as a people, we've been taught that we have no value whatsoever where history is concerned, where the present is concerned, and where the future is concerned. We've been taught incorrectly that we didn't contribute to anything of any value in this world.
You have 1 minute remaining.
So I want to go into The Boy That Would Be King from the vantage point of all of the great accomplishments and contributions that Black people have made to the onward march and progress of society and humanity and the world that we're about to usher in, where there will be only righteousness and justice as far as the eye can see, right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. So those are my plans. But I got a million book plans, and I got a million plays, a million movies in my mind. So that's rather broad.
That's good. Yes, sir. Got a plan.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah. Minister said you can't consider yourself a man if you don't have a plan.
That's right.
I'm 100% man. So yes, sir.
Say no question about that.
Yes, sir. I can call you back in 15 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Well, Salam, God.
Thank you for using GTL.